What a great question. Okay, the question is it written that you have to be baptized to be a Christian? I don't think I've read that in so many words. Okay, the answer is not necessarily. Okay, like there's not this is the formula to go to heaven. Exactly. However, in the Great Commission, Jesus said, go to all nations and baptize them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to obey all I've commanded you. Okay? That's pretty short. Baptize and obey. And so, on one hand, you could be like, well, the thief on the cross didn't get baptized. And Jesus looked at him and said, today you'll be with me in paradise. He didn't do anything, but his faith was enough, right? So do you have to? No, you don't have to. You get to. Okay, it's a big deal. Like, I would definitely do it. Like, can I judge and say because somebody else didn't get baptized, they're not going to go to heaven? Absolutely not. It's not my place to judge anybody. I do want to point out that there was an Ethiopian on his chariot, and he's reading scrolls, he's reading Isaiah, and he's like, what does this mean? And all of a sudden, Philip shows up, okay, and he says, hey, I'm reading this thing. You understand it? He's like, yes, I do. As a matter of fact, this is a prophecy about Jesus, and let me tell you about Jesus. And as he's telling him, the Ethiopian's like, okay, enough. There's some water right there. Can you just baptize me right now? And he's like, well, I don't see why not. And he has the chariot, he has him stop the chariot, and he gets out, and Philip baptizes him, and then Philip disappears. He goes back wherever in the world he was before. God brought him in, and was like, baptize this man, it's important. I've used you, move on. I can't imagine what that must have been like for both of them, right? But there was no hesitation. It wasn't like, well, I mean, maybe one day I'll think about that. It was, I need to do this now. There's water. Can we just do this right now? And there is something about us that if we don't do something immediately, if we don't act on it immediately, there is less and less of a chance that we'll ever actually do it, okay? And if God says, hey, I want you to be baptized, go get baptized. If you can't, that's another thing. But there's kind of water everywhere. You know, in Africa, there's not a lot of water over there it's sub-Saharan Africa where we were. And so they got bottled water and baptized them with that. But it's a state of the heart. Now, I do want to point out too, the word baptism comes from a word baptismo, and it means, okay, where the origin comes from is, let's say that you had some cloth, linen or wool, whatever in the world it is, okay? And then you take that and you dip it in, completely submerged into dye, okay? And now that white or whatever color it was before cloth comes out, and now it's blue or red or purple or whatever color you've dyed it. You baptize it, you put it down in there, and then you bring it back up and you baptize it. And that is, when we are baptized, I think that we become a new creation. The old man is dead, the old person is dead, and the new is inside of us. And so it's almost like a newborn, right? We go around going, now what does that mean? And we need somebody there to go, let me help you out. Let me help you out. So it is a very important thing to do. If we can't do it, I don't think that anybody's going to go to hell necessarily for doing it. But then again, if I was in a race and I went up to the judge, like, I mean, is there a rule that says I can't hang a 50-pound weight around my neck when I run this race? I'm sure he'd be like, well, I mean, not specifically. I don't think you're going to win. Like, I would lighten your load. I would just do what you're supposed to do. That's my opinion.